Hello everybody, it's Tristan again. For those new here, I upload videos regarding movies, comic books, and pretty much everything geeky. But today on the channel, I'm going to be discussing Batman Nightfall and my thoughts and review. Batman Nightfall was published in 1994 by DC Comics and author Doug Moench. Nightfall was the start of a trilogy that was followed up by Night Quest as well as Night's End, although Nightfall is definitely the most notable out of the three. Nightfall is a super long book, I think like 630 pages. Although it was kind of lengthy, I found that it was really informative and definitely worth the read. This comic accompanies probably one of the biggest rogue galleries I've seen in a comic book so far, including Joker, Mad Hatter, Film Freak, Maxie Zeus, The Ventriloquist, Amygdala, Victor Zsasz, Killer Croc, some guy named Cornelius Stirk, which I had never heard of before this book, Scarecrow, Firefly, the Riddler, the Cavalier, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Catwoman, and of course Bane. Now, although many villains are in this book, there's only a few that kind of stick through the whole storyline, being Bane and his henchmen, Zombie, Trog, and Bird. During the story, not only do we see the infamous breaking of the Bat, but we see how Bruce Wayne slowly deteriorates leading up to his conflictions with Bane. Batman has to deal with like 15 criminal masterminds before even getting started with the Venom Junkie. We truly get to see how much of a toll it takes on Bruce Wayne physically and, more than anything, mentally over time. Luckily, Bruce has some help throughout this story with Tim Drake as Robin, as well as Jean-Paul Valley as Azrael. To sum up the story, it's mostly about origin and power. We get to see how Bane comes to exist in Gotham. We get to see who wants control over what, who's more powerful than who, how Batman can be broken, and how even Bane can be broken. This book shows how no one is truly immortal, no matter how they act. Everyone is human in some way or another. Although this book contained like 20 issues or something, and it was super lengthy, of course, I still thought it was a very well told story. Around the middle of the book, I wasn't completely sold, but the ending and the beginning kind of blended everything together really well. A great quote to sum up this book is, "Every man has a breaking point, even the Batman." I'm super proud to have finished this book considering it's over 600 pages, which is my longest comic book read yet. But more than that, I'm super excited to start reading my next comic book, which is Batman Hush. Batman Hush features Jeff Loeb as the writer, who I believe wrote the Long Halloween book, which is probably my favorite comic, as well as Jim Lee, who does the artwork. I think he's like the penciler, but Jim Lee is so talented. I mean, Jeff Loeb too, but as someone who is aspiring to get better at drawing, Jim Lee is a big inspiration of mine. If you guys want to learn more about Batman, feel free to check out my playlist titled My Batman Videos in the top left-hand corner. Now, I know so far all my uploads have been Batman or DC related. I do apologize if no one's into that. That's just what I've been into lately. That's what I've been inspired by the most. But I am a really big horror fan, and it's almost spooky season, so to say. So I'll probably be doing some horror movie reviews, and I might even dive into some of my collection stuff, like my Funko Pop collection, my comic book collection, and maybe even my Blu-rays and 4Ks. So that's all for today. This has been Tristan. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week.